Hello, in this video I'm going to be showing you the double angle formula cosine 2x equals to cosine square x minus sine square x. So first of all, when you see cosine 2x, you can actually write it as cosine of x plus x, because 2x is just x plus x. That means you have two angles but they are the same. So you can see that I'm going to show you with the two right triangle here, and then I'm going to say that okay, each angle here is angle x because they are the same here. So then you have a new right triangle with a leg on this side. Okay. So this is a right angle. So now you have a new right triangle. So when you see cosine, when you have cosine, it's actually adjacent over hypotenuse. Basically, it's this side over this one. So I'm going to label this. I'm going to call this whole length here A. And I'm going to call this side B. I'm going to call this side C. Okay, I'm going to call this one hypotenuse 1 and this one hypotenuse 2. Okay, so apparently, because what we are doing right now is that this right triangle here does not have the length all the way from here to here. It's only from here to here. So I'm going to call this one from here to here D. Well, that also means that this one is D here. So the length from here to here would be, if this is A, that's D, it's called A minus D. So now you can actually write the equation here now. So cosine of 2x is equal to this side, A minus D, over hypotenuse 2. Basically, this side over this side. That is cosine. Okay, so I'm going to call this side E. So that's going to be easy in case I need it. Well, anyway, so because I need the right expression in terms of D later, because then I could figure out what this angle may be here, because there's a right triangle here. So first of all, I know that this one line, this line crossing each other, put like they're straight line. So this angle and this angle must be the same. And we know that this is a right angle, because this is a right triangle and this is a right triangle. So this angle has to be right angle. So what you see here now is this is right triangle, that's right triangle. If this angle is the same, this angle is the same, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree, then this angle must be the same as this one. So it's also angle X. Okay, well, that's good. So let's see how I can express A now. Well, A is this length here. So I can say that cosine of X is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So basically, cosine of X is equal to A over H1. Then I can write A is equal to H1 cosine of X. So now, what is D? Because we have to write this like in terms of like sines and cosines so that we can get to this point. So D would be, well, D is here. So you have to actually look at it from here. Here's a triangle, a right triangle. So you can see that D is actually opposite of this right triangle. So you can say sine of X is equal to D over C. So you can write that. Cosine of X is, well, sine of X is equal to D over C. That gives you D is equal to C times sine of X. Okay. Now you can actually write that now because you have A and D. So let's plug that in here. So cosine of 2x is equal to H1 cosine of X minus C sine X over H2. Because at this point, if you want to get to this point, you have to eliminate H2. So I guess you have to write H1 and C in terms of H2 so they can actually cancel it out. So let's see what we can do for H1. If you want to write H1 in terms of H2, this is H2. H2 is only here. So you can see the right triangle, this is adjacent, this is hypotenuse. So you can actually write cosine of X equals to H1 over H2. So I'm going to say cosine of X is equal to H1 over H2. then you have h1 is equal to h2 cosine of x. Okay, now c is here, but you have to write in terms of h2, so basically h2 is only here, so you can see that this is opposite, this is hypotenuse. You can say the sine x is equal to c over h2. So I would say sine x equal to c over h2. That gives you c equals to h2 sine x. That's good. Now you can plug this into here. Okay, so h1 is actually h2 cosine of x here. Minus c is h2 sine of x times sine of x divided by h2 here. Now if you factor the h2 out, this will all cancel. Then all you have is cosine x times cosine of x minus sine x times sine x. Well, but this is just cosine square and that's just sine square. So you can cosine square x minus sine square x. So this is the same as what we're trying to show here. Okay, now I'm gonna show like one more thing. So if you still remember, cosine of a plus b is equal to cosine a cosine b minus sine a sine b. That's the formula that we proved before. So let's look at it like this. Cosine of x plus x. So basically, instead of having two different angles, you have two angles that's exactly the same. Then you just have the same thing. Cosine x minus sine x, which gives you cosine square x minus sine square x. So you can visualize it this way as well. Thank you.